There are three things that rarely go together in the world of automobiles: speed, comfort, and fuel economy. The completely new 2013 Lincoln MKS has all of these. The all-wheel drive 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 gives smooth, effortless power that feels a lot like a big V8. The 365 horsepower engine is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive. The addition of all-wheel drive on the big Lincoln helps make this a world-class luxury sedan. The MKS we tested also has what Lincoln calls lane keeping assist. Depending upon the settings you select, when you hit the button on the center console, the big Lincoln will either warn you that you're drifting out of your lane on the highway or actively turn the steering wheel to keep you in your lane. But to prevent drivers from pulling out their laptops and letting the car steer for them, the Santa Claus setting knows when you've been steering, knows when you take your hands off the wheel too long, and also it knows when you're sleepy. The dash will light up with messages to remind you to keep your hands on the wheel, and it will also flash a diagram of a steaming cup of coffee if it thinks you're getting too drowsy to drive. The snooze alarm on the Lincoln seems to have very different parameters from a similar system from Mercedes. While I never had the Mercedes system warn me to stop for a coffee break, the Lincoln seemed intent on getting me to the nearest Starbucks. We had some trouble getting our Easy Pass to transmit through the windshield, but when we moved it to the lower part of the windscreen, it seemed to work better. The cup holders are lit, which is a really nice touch when driving at night. At more than 18 cubic feet, the trunk is large enough to hold everything you and your passengers need for the long weekend at the beach house. While the sync system is supposed to enable you to keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road while using the voice commands, either its vocabulary needs to get bigger or mine needs to get smaller. Suffice it to say that other drivers on the highway probably thought I had Tourette's syndrome. While the system said it would send text messages for me, I couldn't get it to work with my iPhone. Even though the system said at least 2 text messages had been sent, neither of them reached their intended recipients. Luckily, they were just as important as the rest of my text messages, meaning none of them are going to solve any impending world crises or change the opinion of the Nobel Committee. While I do think a special Nobel Prize should be created for whomever invented seat heaters, I had to rely on the touchscreen of the Lincoln to turn them on or off. I also had to rely on the touchscreen to operate the steering wheel heater, the navigation system, and certain features of the entertainment system. Judging from the number of fingerprints on the touchscreen, I could probably prove in a court of law how many other reporters also had to revert to it. While I think touchscreens in cars are as good an idea as letting Lindsay Lohan take the wheel, I will say at least the Lincoln has the screen at the top of the center stack so that your eyes don't have to travel too far from the road. That means you'll at least be able to tell the insurance company what you saw shortly before impact, especially when trying to hit the upper right corner of the screen to activate the navigation system. The adaptive cruise control and forward collision warning system were also advantageous in stop-and-go driving, although I will admit I chickened out a few times and hit the brake rather than test whether the Lincoln system would bring the large vehicle to a complete stop in time. The backup camera and blind spot detection systems both worked flawlessly. Unlike some other vehicles with double glass sunroofs, glare did not seem to be a problem on the video screen. Even on the brightest days, I had no trouble seeing the navigation map or the backup image. The power rear sunshade that slides up to cover the back window is especially useful at night if someone behind you forgets they have their high beams on. While the Lincoln MKS doesn't travel at the speed of light, the 0 to 60 time is in the 6-second range, which is basically the bar for luxury flagships. It gets 17 miles per gallon in the city and 25 on the highway. The THX audio system was great. Even at high volume, I didn't notice any distortion. In all, the 2013 Lincoln MKS can compete with large luxury sedans from Europe or Japan for a significantly lower price. The base price for the 2013 all-wheel drive Lincoln MKS was a shade under $50,000 with a long list of standard equipment including remote start. Options on our test car included active park assist, memory adjustable foot pedals, heated front and rear seats, double glass moonroof, and a bunch of other stuff, which brought the total price as tested to $58,265. I'm Grant Winter reporting for Real World Test Drive.